Yo. Alright, so go ahead and do the screen share thing. Hopefully it doesn't like alt tab and break.
Yeah. I've screen shared before on Skype, and I never had this issue. Maybe it's because I'm using a Mac. I don't know, maybe it's different.
Oh, I actually don't know how the Mac would affect it. Like I know that the issue persists through Windows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like as through oops, I'm the one screen sharing. That was weird. I just did that on instinct. Right, right. That would not make sense. Okay, let's yeah. Alright, I can see.
Wait, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alright, what you do is just yeah, just keep it or blah blah blah. Okay, let's see. What I need is can you oh actually wait, let me scroll back through our previous messages and then I'm pretty sure I have your op.gg somewhere
I
here.
can just give it to you
Oh, you
because
have the link?
yeah,
Okay.
because my
Oh my
name is hard
god.
to spell.
Yeah, that's why. Oh my god. Alright, you never linked me your op.gg technically, but I have some way of getting it. That's weird. Okay. Hit me up with the
Oh, I
link.
sent it to you like a long time ago from our first.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking
Uh,
for it. That's why I'm like, I was pretty sure you sent it to me, but I think you
yeah,
just sent me your name so I can copy and paste it,
yeah.
but not the actual link, direct link. Okay, there we go. That's a lot easier. Okay, let's see. Flex games. How often do you play Zed? Zed's
Um,
good. Like, Zed's good
I've been
to
spamming
abuse.
Zed
hmm
because
He's good to abuse in low elo. Like,
yeah,
it's good. Like, but you're kind of useless if you don't get a lead. Your goal is to jump into the backline. You kind of play it patient.
yeah.
What I want to see
Oh,
is how you play your skill shots out if you play skill shot champions.
hmm.
There's like I said, a way to read your opponent's skill shottings and see if you can land them. Cause first thing is movement control. Like, are you too quick to throw out your skill shot, or are you patient enough to throw out your skill shot? That's a big factor in your decision making. Second comes down to because what I noticed is you shot your skill shots a lot back then, so I want to see
Hmm.
how if anything has changed from the time. And then you asked to answer your question once again. Yes, it takes time for them to grow as a player, but I had a player who was like 400 games, for 400 maybe 300 games for like what's the elo? Silver to gold, but then like he's like 1500 games stuck plat 5 right now. So
Uh,
from silver to plat, I mean he is stuck in plat, but there is reasons. First of all, he's not like he plays like really weird shit. Like he plays like he plays Ari, right? That's fine.
mhm.
He plays it like he doesn't run utility Ari. He plays like Hextech Ari, or he plays like AD Ari, support Ari. He plays like really weird shit, and like he likes to experiment. Then he like plays other diverse mid laners stuff. He's not looking to hard climb, but he is grinding the ladder. Like he knows his strength, he knows his weaknesses. It's just that it's like hard for me to force him to improve because like at some point he gets stuck. Like what's holding him back is his farm. So I do
Yeah.
want to see how you farm. I want to see how you throw your skill shots,
Uh,
and I want to see what else is there. Oh boy.
mm, I might
Oh
dodge
my
this.
god. Yep. Autofill is one of the worst mechanics in the entire world.
Uh, I put support secondary because I feel like I feed every other lane.
You play Lux support. It's just that it's just so unorthodox.
Yeah.
This guy is an interesting player. Man, this is gold. Looking at gold OP.GGs is like the
Yeah.
worst thing in the world. What is this 8-8? Like these scores and stuff like that. I don't know what they're doing wrong. It's just like I can't see anything.
Should I troll and make them someone dodge, or should I just dodge myself?
It's better for you to just it's better for you to just dodge. And
All
yeah,
right.
you have good bans. Fizz ban it's better to sacrifice like 3 LP so that you get your roll. It's fine. It's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like
All right.
it's not like it's the end of the world. If you want to study some challenger mid laners that have similar tastes in your champion pools, one player that I've been watching, like these are what we call rising talent. We have this guy. These are like scouting ground players. Like I talk with them a lot. I speak with them. Um, we get like negotiations going. I mean like coaching their team and stuff like that. He peaked Challenger 900 or 800? 900? No, 800. Challenger 800. Then he drops down to like D1, and then he's like, oh, I should probably get back on the grind. Now he's like Challenger 500 again. Okay, Challenger 400, but yeah. And then
Hmm.
this is what we call rising talent. And then of course the top players that like if you want to watch LL Stylish, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I've actually subbed to him. I watch a
Yeah.
lot.
If you watch, that's for NA though. There are some champions that are better in NA than they are in the other region, Korea. Like NA has better Rivens. It is actually stated that they have better Rivens. People just don't like playing Riven in Korea. Um, if you're gonna check Lux players, I don't think there's any like I don't think there's Lux challengers. I think there's Lux masters, but I'll be proven wrong soon, right? Let's see. Yeah, there's two challengers that are Lux players, but they barely have 30 games on the champion. I'm pretty sure yeah, they're like 80 carry mains, and one's a support main, so they're not like Lux mains. Um, the highest number one Lux player is in Korea is D2, and the highest rank is probably like a masters, yeah, with the most amount of games. This guy is a support player. Yeah, they're not all like. But what I see is that they're not how do I explain? They're not mid mains. Like they don't play mid Lux. They're playing support
Mhm.
Lux. I think. Let's see. Let's filter it out. Oh, okay, never mind. They're autofill supports and they run teleport. Interesting. They run teleport. I like that. Fucking Lux flanks. Some of them run cleanse. Some of them sometimes they'll run barrier, but they play really defensive. I guess this is where they get autofilled into other roles. But yeah, I would recommend picking. Okay, Morello, Sorkpen shoes, Ludens Echo. Okay, alright, interesting build. Picking around in different regions. It's just NA or what the fuck? NA or Korea, and then you search for the highest level of play. There's a Korean guy, his name is Master of Lux. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like the closest you'll get to having a one trick that you can look out for. But he hasn't been doing well lately. He only plays decay games.
I used to one trick Lux, but now I'm getting kind of bored of her, so I'm trying to main Zed. But he's always banned, so
Zed is banned because of the fact that you can harass things. Your energy consumption, like the way your champion uses resources, is difficult for a player to punish. So like in NA, like let's say we're gonna go with one of the tougher mid laners, Syndra, right? Syndra has the ability to punish people while they're CSing because she can move and while she's CSing and you can't like when you auto attack. Like if you cast a Q on somebody, right? Um, when they're CSing, they either stop CSing or they take the damage. And then, of course, while you're CSing, you may move while they try to harass you. So therefore, you win the trade. Well, what is her downfall is, let's say you miss and you constantly miss, or you're not landing your skill shots. That's why I'm asking you, like, how's your skill shot control? So let's say you miss, right? If you miss, then you lose mana, and you just constantly lose mana. But with Zed, like that's free. It is actually free for you to like you can throw a shuriken and all your resources come back. You throw a shuriken, all your resources come back. Hell, you can go hella aggressive and you throw a shadow E shuriken and that instantly almost procs Thunderlords if you get everything off. And then of course you can be even crazier and then you W and auto attack and then ignite auto attack again and then flash Q and then they die. If everything is done right, but obviously it takes time. It's not easy, but it is easy for you to punish your opponents while they're CSing. Now, the way you get punished from that is if they dodge your shuriken. Like, of course, like, oh, they dodged my shuriken. But you can force them to dodge the shuriken when they're trying to last hit, and they'll lose the last hit. But if they're like champions like Annie or Swain or Kassadin, which are generally matchups that are skill based, if you throw a shuriken at them blindly while they're trying to CS, but they throw a point and click Q at you, and they dodge your shuriken while they're trying to CS and throw a Q back at you, you lose the trade if they dodge the shuriken because they have point and click. They can't miss, whereas you can miss.
hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Lux. Like all that Lux, all the stuff with Lux is the difference is like Lux has all skill shots, but Zed has like things that are very close to him. Like he has shurikens, he has a gap closer. Like there are advantages to playing every champion. Let's just see like where we at.
All right, there's 1 minute left in the
Uh-huh.
queue time.
Oh God, why is Pantsar Dragon rank 10? What the fuck? The question, no, how and why is he rank 10? Holy shit.
Who is he?
Pantsar Dragon, like the jungler. He's a challenger jungler every single season. I think every season, right? Yes, every season he's a challenger jungler.
Oh.
But he's like low mid challenger. Like people don't like him. Oh, done. I think the only reason why he's up there is because all the pros are gone. If the pros actually got up here and tried for challenger, it'd be pretty interesting. Dunn is currently up there too. Interesting. Rank 133. How's Double doing? Double should have gotten kicked out of Masters. Yeah, he gets challenger, then he has no time to play on his main. Rip. Oh, if you're gonna follow runes and stuff, we want to go for, let's see, for copy LL Stylish's rune pages, if he has more than one. That's yeah, like he's the highest ranking Masters, and then Insanity is the highest ranking Challenger. So just see what they run for each of the champions, and then switch regions to Korea. Let's see, we got how many Challenger Zeds are there? We got none. What is this? We got one Challenger Zed, 100 barely 150 games on him, but still Challenger nonetheless. Is a mid laner, rank 166. All right, let's go. This guy is interesting. Gold. Zed, Zed, Zed. All right.
I feel like my Z is inconsistent.
It
Yeah.
happens. It's a champion that like you have to end the game early.
Hmm.
People run AD with scaling health if they're going mid, and then magic resist. Some people run lethality, so it kind of depends on what you want to go. I think that raw AD is better personally, but some people like to mix it up. Like Insanity mixes it the fuck up. He runs like the Apto style mid lane page where he mixes health per level with armor and armor per level. But that's probably because no, he's not up against any AD heavy matchups. He just likes doing that. LL Stylish likes to do lethality. So it kind of depends on what you want. You get lethality, you get mixed runes with AD with some attack speed, or just raw AD. And the highest ranking Zed is currently D2 or some shit. And he only plays like hard Zed, damn.
Alright, I got mid. Oh, did you look at my match history for op.gg?
Yes, I have I
Okay.
see the match history. I can check your runes real quick then. I just looked at like the past like 20 games or so. Okay, standard runes. Okay, standard masters, thunderlords. Yep. There really isn't anything else you can honestly take. I mean, if you want to, you can get 1 point in lifesteal, and that doesn't really make too much of a difference, TBH. Like everybody does it, but like it really doesn't make that much of a difference for Zed, because your whole point is just to kill the guy and get the fuck out. Okay, for a second I thought I saw Zed support, and I was like, nope, don't do that. Like, not the time, because I saw Targans and I see Zed, I'm like, wait, no. The whole meta right now is just literally nothing but fucking Ardents. So like they're buffing Arden too, so it's like worse and worse and worse and worse.
Hmm. Alright, I think I'm against Oriana, so I think I win the matchup.
It's a skill-based matchup. Oriana, everything is a skill-based matchup except for like easily punished champions that take too much of a ramp time. Like Oriana doesn't really have a ramp time. Like she's just strong off the bat. It's a skill-based matchup. Like if she can zone you first, if she hits you with her shit, if you let her harass, if she doesn't dodge, like if she's incapable of playing at the best level of an Oriana, like a true Oriana, perfect mechanical like presence, the ability to threaten you with an ulti kill, zoning you out, then she's gonna win. And if you have the ability to fucking hit every single fucking shuriken, make sure that she's like, oh, she used her Q, I should punish her with this Q. She shielded, I wait, I Q back, where you stand, how long you wait. Because the first three levels of Zed, you play like a bitch. Like you don't do anything for the first three levels because you need your spells. So you last it with Shuriken, so you have to let her zone you, etc., etc. It's like really weird. And of course, like by picking Zed, you force your opposing mid laner to itemize awkwardly, otherwise suffer death.
Hmm. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the restroom.
Alright, in what universe do you fucking pick Sona and then you don't run fucking wind speakers? Holy shit.
I guess she's going AP Sona.
Nice troll, dude. Nice way to like if you don't pick an Ardent Sensor support in this level of meta, you're actually like trying to intentionally lose the game. Like it's legit also by the way. Like if you look at like any like as much of the high elo games as possible, anytime you see like an Ardent support, if you're on the other side, you're already under threat. Like Ardent supports just win the game. Like we're gonna look at I'm gonna look at Sudsy's match history. And either team has to have an Ardent Sensor. So we got, yep, Ardent Sensor, Ardent Sensor, Ardent Sensor, Ardent, uh-huh, yep, yep, like Rakan, like, can build Ardent, and it works on him because he does AoE healing and he has Locket and shit like that, yep, 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 every single game is just nothing but Ardent supports. Even Morgana can build Ardent supports, like Force, you just press E. Very, very interesting. So the way Oriana can play this matchup is that she starts out with Q, and then, or sorry, she starts out with E, and then she just walks up and starts trading with you. In which case you just back the hell up. But when it's down, you can throw your shuriken and attempt back at her. She's taking barrier.
Yeah.
She'll try to
So
bait
I
it
can
out.
all in her without worrying about exhaust, but I'll have to watch for her ult.
You also have to watch out for the barrier, unless
Yeah,
you
that.
think you can deal that much damage. You want to wait. The first key to playing this matchup is that you must wait until she uses her shield, like her E, because then once it's down, you have like an open opportunity to cast
Mm-hmm.
spells. You gotta wait also to see what she skilled up first. Again, she doesn't have to skill up E. She can also skill up Q. She'll never skill up W because that's retarded. She skills up Q first, then her natural instinct is either to level up W second to pressure you or E second in order to trade. She auto Q, E autos you, and then she procs Thunderlords that way. So we'll see that very shortly. Okay, so trades are even right now, but she's gonna be able to walk forward once she does that. You have Shuriken in too.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Wow, messed up the auto.
Give time for your energy to restore itself.
Wow.
Alright, I'm liking that trade that you did earlier. Now, the only thing I would tip is that this is now a war of sustain. So, in order for you to 100 to 0 her, keep in mind that she's at like 70% health right now if you factor in barrier and you want to try to kill her. Oh my gosh, that's pretty clean. If Jax comes, you get it, but if not, it's fine. Hold your shadow.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Yes, it's because it's not against the Ori. You know that Jax is scouting to help you out. Like the left side of the jungle is completely clear, so he can only come out from the right side. And you're hovering like the right side a lot. Oh my god, that's pretty clean. Okay. Oh my god. Hmm. Ignite yeah, that's fine. You should probably get out of there somehow. She's gonna die.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can't touch him. You're fine. Go ahead and recall. Alright, so the first thing that she did is she definitely barriered. Just ping that. I can't tell if she flashed or not.
No, she didn't. At least I don't think so.
Wait 9 seconds. Wait 9 seconds. Wait 9 seconds. No, no, no. Go back. Go back to your
What?
base. Go back to your base. Buy a refillable pot.
Oh, okay.
You have enough gold for it. Might as well use it now because you had enough gold for it, and like you notice that like she's able to poke the crap out of you if you're not like using your spells to last hit. So
Mhm.
you needed some way to sustain yourself. And that time, like the only reason that all in was able to work is because she has no pots, but you also have no pots. So you're scared of killing her because you don't have any way of sustaining yourself. Like what if she like counterplays you or a jungler comes just in time? You need those pots. So like just like wait for a bit. Uh, there's a huge wave here. Like yeah, the damage is great, but she can just use a pot to sustain it. What I wanted you to do is as you got into the lane, if you can see her in the fog of war, check what she bought. Okay, so she bought pots, like not a oh, not she didn't buy a refillable pot. She bought a lost chapter and and like two pots ordinarily. So she didn't invest in anything else. She also didn't invest in a control ward. This means that like you can have a good gank from one side. And she looked like she walked straight into lane to push it. So it's very unlikely that one of the sides is warded, and if it's warded, it's by the enemy jungler.
Do you normally do like a mini replay review after this
Yeah,
after
yeah,
a live
yeah,
game?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I actually have to leave like right after this game because of an emergency.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah, no problem.
alright.
That's fine. It'll be like stored, so it just continues off.
Okay.
I'm just giving you information now. This is what the live one is usually like. It's like a
Alright.
2-on-2 long session.
Ah,
Flash a Mumu.
yep.
That was very interesting. Now the
Mm,
only ways you could have reacted to that is either you perfect shadow or you flash the flash. It's the only other
yeah.
way.
I also didn't ward it.
To be fair, the only way you could have seen that is if you predicted jungle pathing. Yeah, I'll explain that like down the line. Because it's kind of hard to call. It's kind of hard to call because I expect a Mumu to start blue, and that's kind of dumb.
Mhm.
Also, a Mumu ult.
Yeah, Ori ulted, so I can
Threaten.
worry less if I all in her.
You can also say that Ori doesn't have ult right now, but then like you can all in her when you have ignite, right?
Hmm.
So if you all in her when you have ignite, she'll have ulti again. So consider that. All you have to do is just ulti as soon as you see her animation. So you can like threaten to all in her, but never all in her. Then she ults, and then you just R.
Oh wait, I screwed up my E.
You don't need to E unless it's guaranteed. It's a large chunk of your energy, and hence like you gotta sit back. And it's okay to let it push, cause like your CSing is like it's like completely even in the mid lane. Generally, you want it to be like perfect even. It's like it's not 100% even right now. It's like she's at a plus. Okay,
Alright,
so
got her.
yeah, I know. So you know about the Z ulti proc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like not the fact that it like explodes, but the proc on the top of the head.
Hmm.
Like if you have quote unquote it's a Hearthstone turn, but you have lethal with barrier. Consider that like when barrier like when barrier's up. Barrier will always be up when your ignite is up, right? So the way you want to play that out, like it looks pretty clean, and that's what Zeds do. They just spam keyboard. It's pretty hilarious. Um, what you want to typically do in that full all in is consider that she has more health than she naturally has. So the way you all in it, like you all in it as if she had like say 50 to 0. You want to all in her if she has 70 to 0. So basically, you gotta whittle her down the fuck more before you all in her. You know, it's
Hmm.
again, it increases what we call guarantee, low risk,
Yeah.
low reward plays. 1-for-1 trades eventually become really bad because like you as an assassin have the potential to do a lot more if you live after the fight.
Yeah. I
For
ulted
example,
her because
she used her
she was
ulti,
about to, yeah.
or she used her ult. Yeah, like some way to counter the fact that she's gonna
Yeah.
threaten you. I get it. Yeah, it's a Zed mentality thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get at least a 1-for-1 if I
Yeah.
was gonna die.
What ended up happening though is that like what you want to do is you want to check the post like the tab screen after to check if, like the CS commands. So she's plus 12 on you, or well plus 6 because you just picked up the wave. But like you feel. So you got to be careful about like how you control the wave. Like yeah, she gets an advantage because she's ranged, but like I mean I've seen you miss some last hits yourself, so it's not a big deal. Pushing her into tower is also going to be a good idea too because she can't respond to any of your roams or anything if you push her tower. Don't
Oh
actively
no.
build Moby boots by the way. I haven't seen your boots yet, but I think let me see, was it you?
I was gonna build Merc Treads.
Oh, okay. Am I crazy? Where did I? It must have been someone else I was looking at that built a ton of Moby boots. Yeah, Merchez is fine. Oh, that's free.
Alright,
All
didn't
right,
even
both of
need
you
to
guys
ult.
just both of you guys press R. It comes back. It comes back. So that's good. So you first
Yeah.
is you want to push the lane, and then you want to back up, and it seems that you are too low to continue. So yeah, you back out.
Yeah.
And now another thing that you consider is what we call the Zaire technique, where you basically control your lane, and if you master your lane and only your lane, then and you don't roam at all, but you have perfect control of your lane, you can carry via like perfect control of your lane. But it doesn't work very well on Zed.
Hmm.
Perfect control of your lane includes like making it so that one, you don't die, and two, you have great amazing CS, and three, you do something with that amazing CS, but you do it like only when it's free. It's a greedy way to it's a greedy and very boring way to play, and it like frustrates a lot of people. But like Zaire is rank 1 EU Nordic East. I mean, he's rank fucking 1. Like how the fuck you gonna like? He's also Masters 200 challenger slash challenger on EU West, so it counts for something. But I mean, like he doesn't play Zed, but like he plays a perfect farm centric style. So that's just something to consider. Like a lot of farming. This is very interesting. It doesn't seem like she knows you're there, but this is gonna be funny as fuck. Oh my god. Oh my
What?
NA.
Okay, she ulted.
Oh my god, my eyes. Oh, this is not good. Just stick the
Ah. Mm. Sona messed me up.
yeah, she stunned you. But
Yeah.
I don't think you should have gone for the hard all in unless you landed both shurikens in theory. In
Hmm.
third, you can ult first and get all two shurikens out, not a triple shuriken, but two shurikens.
I'm not gonna. Okay. Okay. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Ah.
Like I'm watching it, like I'm like, oh my gosh, like as it's like spicy as fuck. All right, let's see. All right,
Should I go bot?
they're dead. No, you don't get anything. You don't get anything out of it.
Alright.
You want to make sure you actually get something out of it. And look, Oriana came down there, right? She got nothing out of it. Like she really didn't. It was all three of them. Clean. The combo damage is clean, however, what we lack is the fact that Ardent Sensor supports are broken as fuck. That's not
Mhm.
really, like, you remember that, like, considering these shields, like, you do a lot of damage. It's just that the problem comes in from the fact that they have a lot of ways to survive. So this is not 100 to 0. You can 100 to 0 her, with she using barrier and her E. What you can't do is you can't 100 or you can't 200 to 0 her. You have to be like really strong. This is the problem with Zed in the current like meta. He is punished by the fact that his team like saves him. Now they also have exhaust and Sona.
I'm trying really hard to end quickly.
Wait, who's the ADC? It's Jin, right? No, it's Sivir. Oh, you guys are gonna lose. And what the hell? She's not even. Oh my god, this Sona is NA. Like, oh my god, what is with this? They have the ability to win the game simply by buying items. They don't even have to be good at the game. They could just buy items and win. Like, what the fuck?
Ardent Sensor?
Yeah, like she bought fucking Lichbane instead. She's not even buying shoes. Like, what the fuck? She doesn't even have sights though. Like I would, you can't change it. Like it's whatever. But I'm saying, why is your Ezreal ADC like you? That's another reason why you guys are losing. You have an Ezreal in the AD carry position. It's the wrong place to be. Good. I like that you have Farsight Trinket, and I like the amount of control which you're buying this game. Notice that like this refillable pot, like it makes up for its value. Though clutch, like you've used it almost every single time. You got 1,000 gold, so you definitely have a power spike next time you back. Oh, that's an awkward ward position. You're gonna have to place that a little deeper next time, but I'll circle it.
Alright.
It's not there. It's because it doesn't reveal everything. It's a fucking stupid ass mechanic. There's also a bug in another bush, but you didn't place it in that bush, and I would have been like, what the fuck? I'm pretty pissed that that's a mechanic. Nice. A good thing that a mid laner does, like in the higher stages, is you draw attention from the jungler or whoever, right? And you don't die. Oh baby, that's hot. Wait, check if he escapes. You're gonna watch him if he. Oh, you see the Sona. Nice, nice, good. I like that. Press F2 real quick. Scout, see what the Teemo's at. Oh, Oriana's top 2. Okay, Teemo lives. Nice. This is very risk. Yeah, yeah. What the fuck? What? That's a really good stun. Yes.
Oh,
I think that the going in part was completely fine. What I didn't see was that I was waiting for your E.
mhm.
I'm pretty sure you were also waiting for your E too, because that was like
I was
everybody's
actually
expecting it.
spamming the R
Oh,
so I could get out, but
oh,
I
because you
didn't
noticed when
realize
they clumped up, right?
Oriana's ball was on
Hmm.
top of someone.
You remember when they were clumped up, right?
Mhm.
Uh, you press E. So like the AoE damage would have slowed them all and everything. Like I was hoping that an E would come out right there. Not the R. Like I didn't mind you pressing R or whatever, but like the E damage was what was critical there. So if you waited for like a little bit, like when Jax came back in, I was like, okay, is he gonna go back in? This is perfect. And then like it either comes up to be a 2 for 1, a 2 for 2, or a 3 for 2, 3 for 1 or a 3 for 2. Like something happens, but Thresh shouldn't die.
So something came up, and I really can't stay.
Hmm. That's like a family emergency thing, yeah.
All right, I think I should leave. So
All right.
like it's actually like really important.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I'll just see if I can I'll just see what I can review for you. It doesn't seem it's not the end of the world. Like as long as you don't get like hopefully your account doesn't get hard punished for it or anything like that.
Mm.
All
All
right.
right,
Yeah. Just like recall or something and then you're good. Just make sure you don't like somebody catches you while you're disconnecting or something.
all right,
All right. I'll see if what I can review after you get back. So maybe tomorrow or something like that.
all
Just
right. Hey,
message me whenever you're free and
all
stuff.
right, yes,
All right.
yeah. Sorry, 'cause it's like
Reload up
kind of an
while I.
emergency.
Yeah,
All
no,
right,
it's all good. Can't
all right,
help it. It's okay. See ya.
all right. See ya.
Okay. I need to turn off my Twitter logo and all my social media. Okay. I'm sure you can see my monitor, right? I have need to mute
Yeah.
myself. Okay, so we get into the actual game. Alright, so the first thing is how we trade, right? So when I noticed something immediately that you did, remember when I said she could either skill up Q or E, right? So what ended up happening was when you step forward, like right here, she could just strike Q you, like right away. And you don't know you weren't supposed to hit the lane yet because if you hit it, like she could just not hit it at all, and then the lane will naturally push towards her, and then you open yourself up to jungle ganks. But oh yeah, oh see, so you stopped attacking it, right? Like, but if you actually did go through with that auto attack, right? Like the lane, if she never touches it at all, and you do what you're doing right now, like just just by hitting it once, she can freeze the lane and force jungler to gank you, like the Amumu gank. And you saw how Amumu ganked you, like he ganked you a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, next thing is pre-6, if a Mumu cheeses you at level 2 or 3, like sometimes you might not have Shuriken, sometimes he does a fast clear. The variables are random, but the jungler is able to gank you if you did end up pushing that lane, if she just froze it. Next is that she can counter you if she doesn't like decide to push it at all, and she decides to go hella aggro and attack you, right? So the first thing that she does is, you look like you're about to auto attack that, she just Qs you. She wins the trade because you can't retaliate, and then she sidesteps your Shuriken to the left. So nothing happens here. See, look, like this. And then, like, yeah, you hit her back and stuff like that, but, like, you know, like, you didn't have to get hit by this at all. And then you take an auto attack, too. So that's 2 hits, and if she hits you once more, it procs Thunderlords. You know, so she didn't get to it, and then she gets that minion aggro, so the trade ends up being even. But again, you didn't have to take the trade. You could just let her push, and then wait for a little bit, then throw the shuriken and hit her back for free. Because you always want things to be free. This is a free hit, and then you can't really retaliate, and then you retaliate, and then she hits you, and it's Thunderlords. You know, you see what I mean? Like, you don't have to like walk up. You want to wait till they have it. Like the cooldowns might be short, but like your cooldowns are short too. But if hers are down and they're short, that window is what you want to abuse. You want to abuse those little windows of opportunity. It's always a plus to get free trades. What I was saying earlier was that, oops, I didn't mean to minimize it. What I was saying earlier was that when it came down to whittling down your opponent versus pots, say that you started, okay, so you started 3 of these pots, right? So that means that you can play a little bit more aggro than you normally do. So the way you're playing right now, like you can play it this way, but if you ran refillable pot, you would have to play a little bit safer because you technically only have 2 potions. Now, you saw how valuable refillable pot was, so I would only advise you to take 3 flat pots if you're facing a hard poke lane. This isn't a hard poke lane. A hard poke lane would be like more towards Ziggs, Xerath, Vel'Koz, you know, those kind of really annoying matchups that have to like force hard skill shots on you. Whereas this one is like really like straightforward. Like she has like a lot of mana that she burns through. She has problems. She's very mechanically adept. Then we got the next problem is that the harass came up like a lot. So how you retaliate with that is you either like expect it coming near the backline, so you don't stand near the backline, or you don't. You don't like do anything about it. Like see, like this is like perfect, and she didn't even counteract you. Like that's fucking terrible trade by her. But don't stand near your backline minions if the ball is like hovering there. The ball is a zoning tool. Like just think it's a skill shot too. So if it's coming, it's gonna come straight down like this. So you'd have to yeah, like you know like the W is harder to avoid, but don't get hit by both because then Thunderlords and you lose the trade. But you also have 3 pots, and she only has 2. So if you have the ability, if you manage to like break her pots, before you can lose your pots, like let's say you trade 1 pot and she uses the pot, then you guys are at like 1-2. Then you use another pot and she uses her pot. Now it's 1-0. Now you can play aggressive and force her out of lane, and you still have 1 pot sitting there. You understand? Like you have more resources than her. You basically
Yeah.
end up with 150 HP each time. So you have 450 bonus health with your pots, and she has 150 plus 20, 150 plus 20, so 340 extra HP. But she also has barrier, so that acts as if it's like a full heal pot, you know. So consider all those. So when you all in, just like think about like how many resources they burn, and if they buy pots, that's 50 gold that they're wasting. So basically half a minion wave that they lose out in CS. So you can calculate if you're ahead or not, based on that. Your items are a lot simpler to purchase. You know, you have little mini components that give you like tiny power spikes, and that's how the champion like rolls. Whereas Orianna buys big items, big full components, and she gets strong. Another thing you can do is you got to do this in the practice tool because it's not easy for me to tell you how to do it because I don't know how to do it like 100%. But you got to practice your auto E, not E auto but auto E. It's your E is animationless, like it doesn't have a cast time, it doesn't make you stand still. So if you time it perfectly, you can swing your auto and E at the same time, and both procs will go off as if your auto and E are one single item. Like if you do 10 damage with one thing and 20 damage with another, the total damage is 30. But instead of seeing 2 marks of 10 and 20, you actually just see a 30, and therefore increasing your DPS and can save you in clutch moments.
Oh wait, can you go back a couple seconds?
hmm
It was after. Okay, right here. Wait, like 2 seconds back. Like when I throw out my W.
What the fuck? Wait. Wait.
Okay, so
Oh,
right
it's right
here
here. Uh-huh.
when
Oh,
she.
I thought what I meant was what the fuck was like. I thought you W queued, but there was no shadow. I'm like, what the fuck? No. Here's the
Oh,
thing. You thought you
okay,
could?
so
I saw a kill here earlier, actually.
yeah, when she threw out the Q at me, I could have dodged it. Could I? Should I have went to my W and flash auto ignite her?
No, she has barrier. Remember?
Oh right, right.
Like remember, she still has 1 pot ticking. Like the thing I was trying to get at, the point. Look, it's the pot was still ticking, so she's getting a bunch of healing like still, and she has barrier. So under the barrier, like what ends up happening is when you ignite somebody, their healing is cut in half. Now, when she puts the barrier negates all your ignite damage, and then her pot is still ticking. Her real HP is going up. Though it's halved, it's still going up. So when her barrier goes down, she still has her base shield, her E, and you have to break that too, right? Then on top of that, you still have her base health, which is being regen by the pot. So she has about half of the pot left. That's another 75 HP, and that's basically one auto, right? Like one auto with including her armor runes. And one auto, like when they're under 50% HP, you're only just gonna deal the magic damage with the passive. It doesn't like you're gonna end up like not doing anything. You're not gonna be able to break her shield with just the longsword. And when
Mhm.
she has a pot running, the ignite will just break her shield. One of her two shields. She has too big of a like a defensive. It's correct to run barrier or exhaust in this matchup. I prefer barrier. And your primary goal should be focusing on hard CSing too. You want to like it's really easy for you to last it under tower, so you can allow yourself to get pushed into tower and then be safe. She's also out of mana, so you can take advantage of that too. Uh, Primary concern as a player is always going to be CSing. I'm gonna check. I need to check your PGG again to see how well you're CSing with let's just say Zed. Because it's not difficult because he has the passive that guarantees that he lasts it. So if you're actively like concentrating on like the final hit, like as if you're Orianna or Lux or something, or like Annie with terrible last hitting animations, the last hits should be guaranteed. If you can get them with the right click, you should be able to get it like 100%. Like your last hit should almost always be 100%. Champions that have terrible last hitting animations like Karthus, they have to use their abilities, but you're not one of those champions. So like your CS should be abnormally high, especially during the laning phase, because after the laning phase comes the mid game. And where do you spike? The mid game. So if you have a bad laning phase or terrible CS during the laning phase, your mid game will follow that, and you're not going to be as strong as you should be. So when this came right here, this was where I would have flash ignited and threatened her. And she's gonna respond with the flash barrier. So you trade two sums for two sums, but then Jax comes into the rescue.
But couldn't she also kill me though? Because she wouldn't die, and I had nothing up. Like my W wasn't up, and
Right,
my
but
Q wasn't up.
but so here's what I can see. Look at her mana, right? It's kind of low.
Yeah.
So she can shield herself, right? Then she won't have
Uh-huh.
enough mana for a QW. She'll only have enough for a Q at best. Then she auto attacks you, but if she autos you, she has to stand still to auto you, right? So then
Hmm.
you can just walk up to her and slice her with an auto.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
you'd never hit her with an auto. So if you hit her with an auto and she used her shield or barrier, you break it. Even with the ignite, she has no pots ticking, so we know this. You break it, right? Because you have the passive. You have not procced your passive yet, because your passive does extra damage to those targets. So you're gonna break. Like look how low she is, right? She dies to one auto. Like she actually dies to one auto. If you
So
flash
here I
auto
would
her,
well, I'm
flash
a bit
ignite
too far
auto.
to auto, so flash
Yes.
ignite.
Yeah, flash ignite would be the best. It threatens her. It forces her to flash. Otherwise, you kill her with an auto because she's
Yeah.
retarded. And if she went up for the CS, that was your moment. Like she's not gonna do it. So she didn't do it, and then rip this, and then rip this, and then so here's the
Yeah.
shield. So your ignite and auto would break all this, but then that is the hardest part if she reacts to that. Yeah, she did flash after all, but then she dies to ignite. Like so calculating the damage now, if you look at it, like she was killable. I mean, Jax kind of Jax flashed too early. Like to be honest, he should have just turned on his. He should have just walked up, then turn on his E, then wait for Orianna to flash, then barrier, then turn on his second proc of E and jump at the same time. Like it would have been way easier if he played it a little bit more patiently.
Should I have just bought Hex Drinker at this point? I was gonna buy Dirk and then buy Hex Drinker.
You think you would have bought Hex Drinker? I think that the Dirk is fine because it's a power spike. Like you pierce. Note that Orianna also builds Lost Chapter early, right? So usually that's the right thing to do because the next thing they do is just build the Seeker's Armguard into the Zhonya's. They never just rush the hard Zhonya's because they'll run out of mana during laning phase. So with that being said, you just pierce through as much armor that she possesses as possible. Because she's not itemizing armor, so you break it like already. Then when she itemizes armor, you have Hex Drinker to negate her damage from the Seeker's Armguard.
Can you go back 5 seconds or 10 seconds?
Was it here?
Yeah, right here. Should I have tried to ult her and then E auto? Because she has no sums.
She has two pots. One thing is that you don't have things warded yet. So the first thing you want to do is you want to establish vision. Okay, so as soon as oops, god damn it. So as soon as you see that Amumu is down bottom and bot lane is Mia, don't forget that their bot lane is Mia. They have a Sona and they have a Sivir. And these guys, like in this level of play, people are crazy. They'll do like the dumbest things, right? Yes, it is okay for you to do that, and she doesn't have an ulti and she has no sums, but she still has a way to negate some of your damage and she can run away, right? And you're also
Mhm.
under tower, so you lose the CS. I'd prefer the farm route because like there really isn't any point in like you should just harass her first because you can't 100 to 0 her yet. You can get close to it, but you're never gonna reach that point. You'll hit the fuck out of her. I know that for sure. Like, look at this. Oh, no, okay, not that, but like, when you land a double shuriken, it hurts. Like, always, it'll always hurt. Right now, what it comes down to is seeing if you can survive during the laning phase, because your CS is 39 at 7, and of course it could be a lot higher. If you let's say you got like 10 more, like you can definitely purchase like a no magic mantle, come into lane, like you win all trades because you negate all her damage. And try not to push too much by using your E or your shadow to push, like not to her, like shadow to push. And then that was just an unlucky shadow play. So the way you should have played that is, remember when I said like you when you thought about attacking them, like after you push that wave, the next wave would come in and be in the middle. So during that time, you ward left and right, the top bush and the bottom bush in your mid lane. That way you have like a safety net, so that if people come and gank you, like you kind of see it coming, so you can prepare for it. And then of course reactionary. Oh shit, there is a person flashing on me. I must flash in response. Kaboom, like done.
So in this case, it would be best to just farm under turret
Yeah.
because I have no
Mhm.
vision.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, because like you don't know what's gonna happen. Top Mia, like as soon as a Mumu showed bottom, there's something gonna happen. Like he comes bottom, and I'm like, why? So that means bottom should be there, but he stopped going bottom. Like he did not commit to the bottom lane, right? So he like hovered around the river. So like around that time, he's bot side of map. So you hover left side of map, and you ward right side. And then you were thinking, I remember you thinking about this, and then you land it, and then it doesn't do that much damage because she like either shielded it or she just doesn't take that much damage.
I also didn't land. I messed up the
Oh yeah, I remember you said that.
WE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I need you to do is just practice the auto E. It has to be,
Yeah.
you gotta try, it's not E auto. You gotta practice like one really smooth motion. Oop. The thing about playing champions that have a lot of skill shots is you're not supposed to try to force them to fuck up and then kill them. You're supposed to like poke them down and then wait until they overstep or make a mistake and then you kill them. Kind of makes sense? Like with Zed, you just keep whittling them down and play patient and just throw shurikens. And of course, like eventually they're gonna either, oh, you looks like you overstayed, goodbye. Oh, it looks like you stepped right into my full combo right here, bye. You know, like you don't have to like look for kills actively because they'll just end up killing themselves. Plus, like your energy control is like also really important during the time you harass them too. So like when you shadow and harass, you can potentially like they could potentially know like, oh, this guy uses his shadow a lot, so this is a gank. Yeah, and then rip, and then the explosion, and then the ignite tick. Yeah.
I should have flashed immediately after I went back to my R so that she wouldn't be in range to auto me. That last auto killed me.
Yeah. I mean, like 1 for 1 is fine, but then eventually
Uh,
it becomes not good. Like
uh,
she's not building armor. So another thing I see that you have a problem with that's pretty small is that you're not checking what your opponents buy. So you know what to do against it. So for example, like let's say she had another pot ticking, right? Like there's a chance that she could have lived through that ignite. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And then you end up 0-1ing instead of 1-1ing. You don't check if they itemize armor against you. Because then you know that like, oh damn, she's not taking that much damage, she must itemize armor. But if she itemizes armor, then that means that she has doesn't have a lost chapter, which means that if you burn her mana, you'll kill her by breaking all her mana, and then she can't respond with defense. So she bought lost chapter, and then she's not buying. The name of the item is Seeker's Arm Guard. Just like Arm Guard is just enough to stack it early. So what ends up happening is she just gets killed by your damage. Um, with Hex Shrinker, it's fine because they have another AP threat, and Sona is also building full AP, and that's another thing. That's another reason why you should be checking too, because when you check that Sona has AP items, right? So the Hex Shrinker becomes more cost efficient for yourself because then you're protecting yourself against a Sona that does a fuck ton of damage too. What was I doing here? Oh,
Oh,
just
what?
checking. Oh, you asked me to check your op.gg. I remember now. I was like, what was I doing here? Because like you
Oh,
see what's on my screen, and this
yeah.
was the funniest shit ever. Okay, so first,
Wait,
I'm
replay that? I didn't see
yeah,
it.
yeah. This is the funniest shit ever. So look at your HP. So she lands. She misses her Q, but she lands her thing. I noticed that like, is this quick cast with indicator? Like,
Yeah, with indicator.
okay, okay. I see. I see.
Yeah, I don't do regular quick cast.
Double Shuriken, Thunderlord's proc, E proc.
Then I tried ulting to dodge the
Yes,
ult.
yes.
Yeah.
No, no. I feel you. Now the thing is, let me. I need to see how close it was. It's a reactionary. That's fine. Basically, what I was trying to say was, if did you ult upon her seeing her ult, or did you ult preemptively expecting her to ult? And the answer is the former. You ulted reactionarily, which is fine. You're supposed to ult in reaction, like
Yeah.
in response to her ulti. Not like before. You know, like what if she never ults at all, and then you're just like, what the fuck, dude? You know, like.
Yeah.
Good job. So next, yeah, the next thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to shove your lane, and then you have no pots left, and then you just back. Another small thing you could do. It's really difficult to do it if you have like the amount of HP that you have, but you can go into their raptors, right? Because you have lane priority. You go towards their raptors, and just take one or two small ones. Like you can't take the whole camp; it'll take too much time. But just take one or two small ones, and they always add up. One, your opposing jungler gets less EXP. Two, they can't. That means that the jungler can enemy jungler cannot abuse catch-up EXP. Flash from Mumu, by the way. Um, they can't abuse catch-up EXP because you know always because every single player in the fucking high elo community is complaining about catch-up EXP and it's broken as shit. You can go 0-12 and still be the same level as your opposing jungler by doing one camp. Congrats. I'm serious. And then another
Yeah.
jungler had 300 CS above his opponent, right? And they're still the same level. I have 350 CS. The opposing jungler has 90 CS. Oh, by the way, we're even in levels. What? You know? And what else is there? I remember this. Oh, I remember this. So so you see that the shockwave missed. Yes, that is a threat, but she sees you coming. That's one, right? So watch this. So you do this right here. As soon as that missed, right? It only one landed. You're out of spells. You're on this thing called rotation, which means all your spells are literally like, you know, you're waiting for them to finish the rotation, the spin. So like you're on cooldown. You can't do this. You just stop. It's like missing a Lee Sin Q or an Elise Cocoon or Blitzcrank Hook. You just stop because you can't do anything else. The difference is like the other champions, they still have stuff, but you know, like it's like yeah. So you do this and you ignite, but then the rest of the team kind of shows up, and she has barrier, lol. But I mean, you burn barrier and everything, and then you could have clicked this lantern too, but like you don't have to. Did you end up flashing? Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. So you could have clicked the lantern. I mean, and then like you throw a shuriken, does damage, but like nothing ends up happening. So as soon as you missed your shuriken, had it been a double shuriken, right, you would have gotten the Thunderlords off, and that was the more important part, getting the Thunderlords off, because you already are aware that like wait, hold up. Why did your Thunderlords proc?
Wait. Why? Wait. What was the question?
Um, I'm asking why your Thunderlords proc. I didn't expect it to proc because you only landed one ability. What I'm saying is like you know how if you miss a bunch of skill shots, like the really critical ones, like a Lee Sin Q, a Thresh hook, a Blitzcrank hook, an Elise Cocoon, you just stop, right? Like, you know, like, oh man, your sun is gone. The biggest ability, like the critical ability, it's gone. So when you miss your double shuriken combo, yeah, your Thunderlord. Hold on. Why did your Thunderlords proc? Am I crazy? Okay, hang on. One shuriken. That's one hit.
That's one. RE auto?
Two R.
Oh no, I didn't E.
I have to see the animation somewhere. It procced right here. I just didn't see the like the little lightning bolt that comes from the sky. But you just proc Thunderlords. But you see how little damage you did, right? Like even with the
Yeah.
Thunderlords, like you broke her shield at best, and she got a heal. That's it.
Yeah.
So doing it back, right? Let's say in theory you only landed. Okay, so here's what we saw. We landed one shuriken. Okay. Now the best part about Zed is you basically if you do a Shadow Shuriken, like the Shadow Shuriken, your goal is to try to land both because it maximizes your damage output, right? So when you land one, it's like half the damage, and that's ineffective because if you land two of them, all you have to do is R, and it's instant proc Thunderlords. You E auto, and then you burst them harder. And because you missed it, this is why you wasted flash, like because you missed your Q and you decided to continue forward instead of stopping, it
Hmm.
becomes a problem. Because then you have to burn flash, and then they almost starting to kill you. Like you had like
I flashed? Oh,
yeah, you
yeah, I
did.
did.
Yeah, you just flashed. Cause Sivir was running, and Sivir has blue buff, so she has mana to kill you. She just auto W autos you, and if she knows that you have no flash, all she has to do is run into the. The fact that they saw you is also another problem because like the crab gives them speed. Sivir never auto attacked like so she gets that move speed from the thing, and then she'll just charge at you. So she runs faster than you because you have no boots, and she does, and she has the crab speed. And then all she has to do is auto EU or auto W auto reset boomerang blade you, and then in the case that it happens, if you throw a shuriken back at her, she spell shields it, so she takes no damage. This was just hilarious. Like I cannot believe she did that. Oriana flash. Oh, and then rip shurikens. Now, what I would have done is I would have juked back, but the thing is he aimed it behind you, and the hitbox was too wide. The only way to avoid that was if you ran to the right, like to the, if you aimed diagonally more, so like that, like the skill shot would barely miss. But it's really difficult to like see where it's coming because he shot it like behind. He shot in that perfect slot. It's pretty interesting. Also, he's close to you too, so the closer he gets to you, it makes it easier for him to land it. And that's another thing too. Long range shurikens versus close range shurikens. So I mean, if you're in melee range, you can't miss it, right? He's like literally in front of your face, you know? Like, kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine a morgue binding. Like, how are you supposed to dodge that? You gotta like sidestep the fuck to the right, you know? Like hella kite in order to just dodge it, like point blank. Like there's nobody that misses a point blank skill shot unless they're like really bad at like telegraphing it coming out. So get closer if you want to increase your probability of landing things. Because if you think about it, if you shadow, then get close, then double shuriken them, or just get really close and then double. Like you kind of use the shadow shuriken as like a long range skill shot. I think what you should try to do is aside from practicing your E auto or auto E's, not E autos, your auto E's. You should try getting a little bit closer and treating your Shadow Shuriken as like an extended range of your one skill shot. So if you can't land a regular Q like that, like a regular Q, try not to use the long range Q to make it up. Because the long range Q, like the way you shot it at Oriana earlier, right? It's just using like a really long range skill shot. But you're not actually using the whole point of the skill shot. So what I'm trying to say is if you can hit them with one Shuriken, then you can hit them with both. You know, like
Yeah.
treat as if even you treat your shadow shuriken as like it just happens to be there. You treat it as like you just press W like as you use your shuriken, it just happens to be there. Like if you can hit them with that regular one Q, then your W Q should also naturally hit too. And then of course by both of them hitting, extra damage. And if you're crazy, a triple shuriken, which is like the hardest thing, like the highest level of skill. Zed is like absolutely skill based. But right now, what I see is there's problems with both decision making and the champion itself. Like, I mean, I'm no Master Zed. I'm no Emperor Zed. Like, you know, I could probably not reproduce the results, but in the end, like the decision making, like you know, like the choices that you made, like to go in on certain times, especially down bot lane when you miss all your abilities, which is kind of like really awkward. Stuff like this, like an attempt to assassinate. Another thing you could have done is like as you were jumping in, pop your pots. Like you know, like even if like you're still dead, like the extra quarter of a second might have allowed you to kill the Amumu. And then let's say you lived, you know, like maybe you could have done something, I don't know, but pop your pots if you can. Always pop your pots. It's a refillable potion. It comes back to life. What the fuck? Straight int. And then they have a gangplank that has 0 presence in the game. Alright. Now, in terms of boots, you should just get a regular boot. And the only reason I say that is because it helps you dodge skill shots, like the 25 flat move speed. Just kind of helps you dodge skill shots right on in the early game. So that's a plus that you should consider. Um, Definitely work on the farming game. Judging by this, like with the amount of E's that you have to last hit, it's better for you to consistently practice last hitting. Like that's just the muscle that you have to train. Like when I play ADC, my best was 11.1 CS a minute, and I still had the most damage. I did everything that game. Like I was the best because like I purely focused on farming, and I'm like, okay, maybe I like LCS style. Like just pretend you're like LCS style and like focus on farming. Like the LCS players do also, by the way, they trade. Like everything that you're doing like now, like the difference is that like you're just not last hitting. It's not clean. It's like basically if you miss a last hit, it's not like, oh my god, that minion trolled me. It's called being lazy. And like when I play AD carry, like I could buy more wards. You know, there's always things that I could do better. I could buy more wards. I could jump sooner when I get hit by a skill shot. I can flash instead of saving my flash because that's called greed. I'm just a lazy player, and I discipline myself like every single time like I fail it because I think of it as like I just lost the lane, and you don't ever want to think about losing lane. You want to think about how you could do your best to win the lane, and the way you win the lane is commanding it. So now you have 111 over her 97, but the thing is you have more deaths, so you're feeding off more EXP to your opponents as a 5-man unit, and that becomes a problem for your wave control because now like you have the group, and Zed isn't like that best of a team fighter or a grouper. He just like jumps in and then like tries to kill somebody and then ints. Jackson Timo are like not the kind of champions you want to have for this team comp, so it's really awkward. And when you're forced to group, like the game is like bound to spiral out of control in the wrong way. If anything, Jax should be grouping because he has Colossus. Like there's only one challenger Jax jungler that I know that runs Colossus on Jax. Holy shit. Holy shit. Skill shots galore. Everybody missing today. What's next? Thresh Wild Hook? Show me, Thresh. Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god, you guys. Wait. Okay, yeah, she got hit by it. Alright. Wow, that's a lot of damage. And then I said another problem that you had was, this wasn't your fault. Like, there's nothing you could have done about this, but you have an Ezreal jungle. I mean, sorry, you have an Ezreal AD carry, and he's not jungling. Kill this bitch, yeah. What the fuck was that Q? Yeah, so Ezreal, like, having Ezreal as an AD carry, it means that he does no damage. Having Ezreal as jungle is actually meta right now, and he's, like banned in, like, Korea, banned in NA, like, in high elo. Like, it's just too stupid. Like, he does too much damage.
Was my decision to split bot a good idea here?
Yes, yeah, this was fine. And the thing is, you like the way you did it was you warded beforehand, and the only thing you had to understand was that you have to back. Like you got too much money on you. You never want to like stay in lane with that much more cash than your opponent. Because the thing is, like, let's say you get into a 1v1, right? So if you get into a 1v1, right, then what ends up happening is you have money that you're sitting on, and you could have had a stronger power spike for that 1v1. And you could have had more HP, and you could have had all your refillable pots. Luckily, however, nothing ended up happening here, and I think that you could have committed to the recall or continued to split push the next wave and greed for the wave, but you just can't commit to a fight. Okay, so earlier then I guess I must not have been paying attention. I'm pretty sure that I would have called for a full commit to the recall, but this is a little bit awkward. I would have pushed the wave first. Because the wave is just there. It threatens, because now it's going to ramp back. I mean, this still ends up happening, but this exhaust is so awkward. So I wouldn't have gone, I would have kind of considered going on the Sivir. Then when you came back here, you had E actually. The heck? Oh. I was wondering where your E was. I thought it just barely came out cooldown as you died. No, you should have E'd immediately upon landing.
Mm-hmm.
It would have slowed them all. It would have slowed them all. That's the more important part. Because
Yeah.
Ezreal was not in range, and he wasn't in range of Lantern. Only Jax was, and he just flashed. So it would have given your team, like, even if it's a quarter of a second slow, it's a slow is a slow.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get ulted by Sona, so I tried Ring out,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
ended up getting ulted anyways.
Yeah, you told me about the ulti reverse. Like if they timed it
Yeah.
right, they would have just done it like exactly like that.
So what should I have done?
Like as soon
Like
as you
just
land it,
E and
as soon as you land it, just E and then R. Cause you also have a shadow. You have a shuriken, or yeah, you still have a shadow. You could R then E, but then it's better to just stand in there and just straight E and then Q and then like try to get out. But if you know that Sona didn't ulti, right? You can't really predict it because like if she times it right, right? Like she'll
oh
she'll
no,
still
she did
land it.
ult.
Let's see. What did she ult is what I'm questioning. Like how did she ult? Like what I'm saying is like what's the timing on it? Like did she ult after you ulted somebody else? And like you're cause you're yeah, so you ulted Sona. So upon you landing, I would ult like right there. Like I would wait and oh, so you can't really. Okay, so there's only one way you dodge this. And there is only exactly one way you dodge this. And you have it in one finger, your D finger. You got a D down right here.
Hmm.
Okay, because what I thought she did was she stood here and she ulted up. Said I said it was ulted here. This guy fucking okay. Oh, he E it in. Then, whoosh, and then the shockwave immediately. Wait, do you get hit by it? No, you don't. Oh no, you do. You do. Oh, so yeah, you can't get back to your shuriken because I mean your shadow because then you end up dying anyway because the shockwave pulls you back. So what I would have seen is
Or
that
like should I have even tried to fight?
yeah, no, the fight was fine. Jackson, everybody there, it was a 4v3. It's just how you played the fight. So if you flash forward, then you would have been fine. You gotta flash behind them because then you would not be in range for shockwave or Soda ult.
Hmm.
But it's really difficult to say that like that comes that way because you know that Sona's gonna ult you immediately. It's just that the shockwave's edge like barely hit you.
Hmm.
It's pretty annoying. Also, Ghostblade. Super important that you get Ghostblade down the line.
I
Just
normally
be
go
alright.
Duskblade and then Ghostblade.
Yeah, Duskblade then Ghostblade. That's fine. It's because then the shadow empowered. Sorry, the ulti empowered auto attack. It's strong. It's strong. Now, I also considered you building Ma because the Sona actually started hurting. Like you kind of you have to adapt to the situation. So like, a Ghostblade would be fine, but it doesn't help you in the long run. So instead, I would have built Ma. Like your longsword, like can build into billions of things. You know, like just straight up. Oh yeah, and this is where it ends.
Yeah.
Your longsword builds into like as soon as I logged in. By the oh yeah, as soon as I got in, like it they just surrendered. But ignoring that, I'm not supposed to say that. First is Orianna Flash. When Orianna had no Flash, yes, you could punish, but at the same time, sometimes even if a player has no Flash and they're playing up, you want to be suspicious of that. And the reason why you want to be suspicious of that is because they can bait you into traps, like a gank, you know, like a Mumu gank or Gangplank has ulti. That's another thing. You like we didn't factor it in because Gangplank was not a present like threat throughout the entire game. He rarely ever did anything useful. Like he just got carried that game, you know. Like if I were Gangplank, I would like hate my life because you're playing like shit and you can't even like outfarm a Teemo and you get your fucking ass wrecked by a Teemo, you know, with zero ganks, zero fucking ganks like from top, you know, like it's just so bad. And Gangplank still manages to win the game, but you still should be afraid. Like every factor is something that you must take into account. So bot lane's Mia. I can't do this. Wait till they show up. So if you're an AD carry player, right? Like me trying to learn AD carry. If I see my opposing mid laner's Mia, I'm not gonna play until I see them or I have a general sense of where they are. So most of the time, like your engages or think about killing somebody. If you're gonna think about killing somebody, you gotta kill them like really fucking fast, and you can't mess up with the combo because if you mess up, then you get punished. And if you also if you mess up right and you don't kill them, then they just go back, reset. Sure, you get the full wave, but then like damn, you know you messed up, and then like they get a full reset, and then you back at an awkward time, and sure you deny them some CS, but then there's a possibility that they regain lane momentum and control, because then they could just freeze the lane under their tower, and then just stay safe, and then you come back into lane, and then you're like shit, I can't control the lane anymore because it's like shoved all the way over, and then you get ganked, and then you die. Like it can happen, all because like one misplay. Like you want guaranteed things, not like half and half, because half and half is just Half and half is just awkward. Because 50-50 gambles, you know, like they'll either work or they don't. But it's better to take like tiny little low risk, low reward ones, and then just let that, like, that's how snowballs work. Like, you know, like in real life, like if you roll a snowball down a hill, it starts small, but then it gets bigger. You don't just start big. I mean, yes, if you start big, it gets bigger, but like you have a chance to make it crumble. So sometimes you can throw your lead. That happens too, but you didn't have a lead to begin with, so I can't really talk about that. Ignoring that, like I said, your trades are fine for the most part. When you try to throw your double shuriken, so remember when I said at the beginning I was trying to look to see how you throw your skill shots? Like they're pretty quick. I'll tell you that. Like Zed's shurikens are pretty quick. Watch how she moves. Like see where she's planning to walk, and she doesn't look like she's gonna juke it. So you can try to throw it where she's walking. It's difficult to like teach exactly how to land skill shots, but your skill shots are kind of wide. So that's something to consider. Um, let's think. I'm trying to think of exactly what other kind of mechanics there are. Buying items, pink wording, vision control, all ending. So I mentioned this in the game as you were playing it. 100 to 0, 100. You don't treat it as 100 to 0ing somebody. You know, that's assassin, right? You got to treat it as if they had more HP than they generally started with, because they have a way to defend themselves. I don't know, barrier drops 100, and like I mean barrier drops 100, 150, and then her E drops another like 75, so that's 200, 250 HP or something, like let's say another 3 health bars, right? And 3 health bars and 1,000 health targets at 30%, so you got to do 130% of their HP to 0. So basically, how do you get to do that much damage? Well, if you farm and get your items, and then you look at exactly how they built. Let's say you did not go the lethality item, and they actually itemized Seeker's Arm Guard first, then your damage is meaningless. But if you bought the lethality item and they bought Seeker's Arm Guard, your damage is still even. Like it's at a good spot. So then you just poke her down, and if she keeps shielding your poke, then she'll slowly whittle her mana down because she doesn't have Lost Chapter. Because she bought Lost Chapter first, she's reliant on pushing the lane in order to level up to maintain her mana in order to win her trades. Makes sense? Like, she has to push in order to level up because then the Lost Chapter restores her mana. And if she's pushing, she's using a bunch of mana. And as she's pushing, you're trying to harass her when she's trying to last hit because she's pushing. So then if you're harassing her while she's trying to last hit and she's pushing, then she gets a bunch of mana back. Like, see how she's just pushing? It's because she wants that mana back. And if you try trading with her and she looks like she's going to eat a trade, she'll shield herself. And so like, it all comes up. So with Lost Chapter, she has the right to push more. So itemizing this is fine. And the reason why like you itemize this is because now she has no armor. Now she shields herself, and if she's at half mana, or about to be at half, then you try to, you know, harass her whenever you can. And every time you do harass her, like every time you miss, it becomes a problem. But every time you do harass her, right, it becomes an advantage for you. And again, slow but steady, slowly but steadily, you will add up those little bits of Q damage, little bits of E damage. You know, shadow shurikens, regular shurikens, Shadow E, Shurikens, etc., etc. And then eventually, oh crap, she has no pots. Oh crap, she has low mana. Finish her off. Like, if she decides to back and you haven't killed her, it's still okay. And the reason why is because then you have lane control. Then you just hard shove, she loses all that CS. She loses more. Then she has to walk back into lane. You know, like, there's so many different factors that come into being, like, a powerful mid laner and how you control it. And, of course, Zed has a time limit. Like, you cannot be invincible forever. Because at some point people just itemize Zanya's and like a lot of armor and a locket and a bunch of shields, and you go from being able to kill somebody to just you can barely get like their damage. Like you can 100 to 0 somewhere, but you cannot 175 to 0 them. So if I were a Mumu in this game, right, I would build a Gargoyle Stone Plate and then a locket and a Knight's Vow. I would bind to the Sivir. And then during team fights, I would just press Locket and protect Orianna at the same time. If I were and if I were a Sona, I would buy Redemption, Ardent Censer, and a Locket, right? And then at the same time, you're basically saying, I'm basically saying, if you're gonna kill the Orianna, you have to basically 250 to 0 her. You basically have to kill her 2.5 times. If you can't already kill her 2 or 3 times in lane solo, like, you're gonna have an even difficult time as the game drags on, because she just, it's as if she just gains more health without actually buying health items. And then she gets Zanya, so you have to 250 to 0 her within like 10 seconds. So it's not easy. Like that's why like I struggle on when I smurf with Swain against like major comps like that, and I don't have a way to reduce their healing or shielding. And as Swain, I just run out of mana. And like you're lucky you have a manaless champion, but you have a time limit on your champion. You know, every champion has its pluses and minuses. Now, if you were Lux, it'd be a different story. Could I say that Lux was a better pick here? And the answer is like it's uncertain. Like yeah, you'll have a different laning phase, right? But you end up like now we have to worry about another resource, which is your mana. So you itemize differently based on your mana pool. Then of course, when it comes down to picks, like you picking people off, it's going to be difficult too because like Orianna like stays so far back, it's hard to kill her, but like she can die, yes. But then Sivir will never be picked off, you know, because she just spell shields your thing. Or she gets hit by the binding, then she spell shields your ult. Or she gets hit by your E, and then spell shields your binding, and you can't catch her with your ult, etc., etc. Uh, early shoes is also pretty important too, and the only reason why is because there's always potential to roam, and you need it to dodge, like not her Q, but like dodge other skill shots that are incoming, and also to get to places sooner. Like if you can just get to your lane sooner. Is it just me or do I notice you not using your shadow to get to lane faster?
Oh, sometimes I remember to do it, but most of the time I forget.
Okay. I have that problem too when I'm playing Orianna and I just forget to spam W as I walk to lane. Just try to practice. Um, try to practice the thing.
So I should have gotten boots instead of Caulfield.
I think that yeah, just the boots because instead of Caulfield, because then because so Caulfield costs 400, right? So you buy boots and a control word instead as an alternative, and that's equally as important because control words, are really important for you to make picks. See, so this right here indicates that where you're standing is not warded, but right here can indicate. First of all, she has this entire area warded, so she knows if you're coming, right? This right here is also really important. Like if you can just get this like warded, that would be great because then you know if you can pick her off or not. But like just saying, like always having vision.
So in this scenario, where should I have like moved or positioned?
Okay, so right here, well, based on what you were doing, here's
Or
here's
like
what you
what
should have
kind of
done.
decision should I have
Okay.
done? Like should I continue walking down or
Okay, so here, yeah, so you're walking down, right? You're walking down.
yeah.
I think I kill Oriana. Miss. Don't press W. Stop. Back to mid. You just completely stop. You just complete like you just, like Filthy Frank videos. Like this has to stop. you just completely stop. Just go back to mid. She cannot respond to mid like equally like in time. You save a summoner. You save your ulti. You save everything. You just go back to mid. And it's already pushed. It's good. Just go back to mid. Maybe get a vision. Like you don't have a ward here, but if you have control ward, you just place it over there in their jungle, something like that. You just stop because it is a lost cause to help out any further. Like this right here is unnecessary. It's like you're risking yourself because again you can't kill her because you're outnumbered and like you're not in position to kill because once you miss your full combo, you're on rotation. Like I said, like this is on cooldown, this is on cooldown, this is on cooldown, right? So because all those spells are on cooldown, where's your damage from your autos? But you can't auto because if you auto, like there's a threat of Sona stunning you, right? So you have the threat of killing yourself. And in the short run, what I'm saying is that was not free. Like
Yeah.
that kill was not free. You wanna make sure it's free because like you missed it, right? It is not. It is no longer free. There is a chance that if you managed to land the double shuriken, she would have taken more damage. You come in, you full combo her, maybe like she would have gone way lower, or you would have threatened her life a lot more. But it's still not free.
Hmm.
If you had more damage, like from like let's say you last it way better, right? Like maybe say you had 100 CS, you lasted a little bit better. Maybe you have another item in your inventory, you could do a little bit more damage because everything counts. So yeah, you have the potential to threaten her, but because you missed that critical ability, it's gone. So in the end, what ends up happening is no R, she has no barrier, and and you have no flash. try to complete Duskblade. I like it. Switch your trinket to blue trinket too. It helps you make picks. Also alternatively, you may select, what is it?
Sweeper.
Yes, because then you hide in bushes and then you punish.
Yeah, but the Duskblade also tells you whether or not it's warded.
Right, but then like Duskblade has a cooldown and so does Sweeper. But it's
Right,
just that
right.
like what Sweeper I mean yeah, what Sweeper can do is it detects whatchamacallit, people inside bushes. So like if you know you're walking into like face checking something, like Duskblade can't do that. Duskblade
Right.
just tells you if wards are there. Sweeper tells you if people are actually in that bush waiting to death trap you. And you don't have a vision ward in your inventory to find out that, like what if there's like 5 people stacked in the bush? What else did I remember from your play? Your masters are fine, runes are fine. I can't argue with those. Like those are changing anyway, but they're fine now. Like you always want the most optimal ones, and you follow LL Stylish and all that. If you watch how LL Stylish plays and stuff like that, I think you should be watching their gameplay too. Cause at some point, like like when I started like learning the game, right? Like VOD review was a thing, and VOD review wasn't a thing. Like at the same time, because the replay system was really buggy and all that. Now that we have like so many streamers out there, you want to watch how they like click too. Because something I noticed that is like you'd have quick cast with indicator and they have just regular quick cast. It can make a difference, but if you're comfortable with it, stick with it. Apto, for example, is stuck with regular cast. He does not do quick cast at all. He plays literally on default settings. So what I would advise you to do is let's just say LL Stylish Zed, like not a guide. We know how to play the champion. The only thing I advise you to work on is auto E, like pretty much auto E and increasing your probability of landing the shurikens. We
Wait,
don't
isn't it E auto?
auto E. Because
Oh, okay.
auto E is you've already casted the auto animation and you cancel the rest of the animation of the auto attack with your E. Because your E is like you can cast it while you're like moving, so it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't mess you up. But if you auto then or if you E then auto, like you have that little quarter-second delay. It's kind of hard to explain without actually like showing it to like let me see. How, it's like how am I supposed to explain it? It's like auto E, right? Like pretty sure it's because the reason I know this is because I was watching the Zed 1v1 tournament back then, like the best Zed NA, and Zhao Zhao like faced one of my D1 players that was a ex challenger, one of my teammates when I went pro, right? And
Yeah.
he's like he did this E auto E animation, and I kept doing E he kept doing auto Zhao Zhao kept doing auto E and canceling his regular auto attack animations and walking away freely. And what my friend did was he did the E auto, and he's like, oh my god, the millisecond time difference is huge. So like every remember that with Zed, your goal is to burst them fast, so every second counts. So instead of doing E and then slicing them with an auto, you should do an auto then an E. Because if they're at 50% HP, right, your passive will automatically proc. Well, if you auto E, the burst is huge, right? Like it's just instant. But if you E then auto, like you E them first, then you whack them. Like your whack animation, unless you right click to cancel the animation, is still slower. Okay, let me see. Da-da-da-da. Okay, ignore this. Show me the E animations, please. I don't care. Oh my god, hurry up, dude. Like, maybe you can get the shuriken ones sooner. You know about the Q flash, right? You can do Q flash. Not flash Q, but Q flash.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot smoother to do Q flash like that. Yeah, that is way harder to react to. But people who are good just react to the flash. Like it's kind of blatant. Give me a sec. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. It's just he's just doing shuriken animations. I'm trying to like if I can just figure out the does this no that's not it. Well, whatever the case, yeah, you gotta practice the E animation. No, that's not the bug. So let me see if I can get onto my account and try to do it. If I can replicate it, it'd be a lot easier to explain.
All right.
It's like, have you played Victor?
Victor? No.
Okay, Victor has the same. Victor, there's only one way to bypass it, and like the only player I've ever seen do it is Crown. Basically, if you play Victor, you do or played against Victor, he Qs you, then he throws out like an energy empowered auto. Pro Victors will make it so that you don't see the auto at all. Like the auto will still do damage, but you don't see a particle. You just hear the sound effect hit you, and you just get hit by literally nothing. Like you get
Yeah.
hit by air, and that is what I've seen as what we call the perfect animation cancel, and nobody could do that better than what's his name, Crown. Okay, let me see if I can do it. Oh, Jesus. Project Z is probably the best skin. It just looks too clean.
I feel like the animations are a lot smoother than the original skin.
Some skins are what we call pay to win because they feel enthusiastically better to play. Example, Dragon Trainer or Bewitching Tristana are the two best skins in my opinion. I hate playing anything else. I know Tyrant Swain is infinitely better than regular Swain. I know that Deep Terror Thresh feels a lot better. Like the skins just make it feel like you just feel better about playing it. Let's level up, max cooldowns, max HP, enable this, enable that, spawn enemy target dummy. Come on, come on, come on, get me out of here. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to do this, but so. Okay, is that my ping? What is that? Okay, that's pretty bad. Alright. Like, I can't do this as fast because I'm not in practice with this champion. But, you see that? Like, it popped instantly, right? Like, instead of... Like, it's kind of... Well, I mean, like, if I just have refresh cooldowns off, it'd be a lot easier to play, So you have a... So, there's this thing... Okay, the best way to explain it. Your auto has a start animation and an end animation. See? Right? But if you there's two animations, right? So if you auto and then you E during the start animation, you will cancel the end animation. So you only do one of the two. So it's kind of okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then fuck. Like the number, you see two numbers pop. I don't know if you can like maybe if I zoomed in, it'd be a lot easier to see. But there's two numbers that pop up. 74 and a 53. That's 2 hits,
Yeah.
and then Deathfire. But if you do it right. Fuck, it's not there. It looks a lot cleaner if I do it like this, like, fuck, come on, like, it's gotta work. Okay, come on, come on. Okay. Okay, this is an E-auto. Like, it just looks like less, like, you're standing still while you're doing it. Another thing, there's also another reason why you can do, auto E. You can walk away. Remember, you can walk away. You can't walk away while you're doing an auto, right? So if you you would do like this, like E auto, but then you stand still, right? Like you E to get closer to them, right? And then you stand still while you auto. But if you do this, you auto, like you E, you can continue moving forward if they're running away. You know what I mean? Like it's easier. You already hit them with the auto, then you continue to the chase. And then like the E does give a slow, right? So if it because the E slows the target, you can increase your probability of landing a shuriken. So if you eat them first, then you auto them. The slow will have ran off because it only lasts like really shortly. And then like you have a chance of missing your shuriken, but of course it's really rare. Like what if they're just stupid and they just dodge it or like something happens. Like for example like whoops come on, I can get this. That was like the only one that I've seen do it like at a perfect level. I mean I haven't paid attention to Beers and Zed. It's just I did it earlier. It's just you have to move while doing it. There it is. See? Like, it's just... You still hit them with it, right? Yeah. So, like, as you move... It also helps you win trades, especially if you're against melees, like Echo, Yasuo, etc., etc. Because you're moving away from them. Like, you can fake out the auto and, like... You just have to get the timing right, but I have 9... Like, my ping is fluctuating, but that shouldn't be an excuse to practice this. Like, I need to get better as that, obviously. Fuck. You're gonna like with E auto, you have a less likely error room to cancel it, but you also threaten yourself because like how long it takes to perform both spells is slower because a start animation and animation. This is why Riven players like they have a lot of starting and ending animations and they just constantly cancel in between so that their combo comes out instantly. Fuck. Oh god, my lag. See, like this is also why, like if I click this on accident, like my screen gets fucked up. That's why it's hard to do like whatchamacallit, borderless for me with Skype screen share.
Yeah, I think it's only a Windows thing because it didn't happen during
Yeah, it
that
never happened to
thing.
you.
Yeah.
There it is. It's hard to get it off, but it also counts as two procs on your Thunderlords, right? So then all you have to do is Q after and it instantly procs the kaboom part of Thunderlords. And your goal is to always try to get as much DPS as possible because like it's hard to do. It's going to take a long time to master it, but if you can reproduce it consistently, it increases your mastery of the champion. And the thing about being a good player is first you have to master you have to master playing your role before you can master new champions. So I took a break from playing mechanical mids and started mastering Swain first, and then I tried to develop myself as a mid laner. So just because like Swain is so easy, like I have more time to focus on my decision making as a player rather than my mechanics. The only thing I had to worry about was last hitting, and if I failed to last hit, that means I just failed to last hit. That's pretty much it. Like there really isn't anything else to say about like the last hitting thing. Like Zed is constantly a mechanical champion, but like the best Zeds, they just have to practice a lot of times. So like you can definitely improve on your Zed in the terms that you uh, practice aside from like landing stuff, like increasing your probability of landing stuff. That's the first part. You gotta really land stuff. I can't say anything else about that because like either you land it or you don't. But if you don't, you need to tell me about your choices like afterwards because like what I see is that like it's like the same kind of habit with your Lux. Like if you miss the binding but you'll still throw out the full combo kind of thing. Um, so be patient on your thing. Like you want to wait for them to like, oh shit, hey, he overstepped. Oh hey, he has no mana and no HP and no pots. And it looks like the only thing I have to worry about is a barrier and a shield. I can still kill him though because I have full combo and ignite. You know, like you gotta wait. You gotta wait for their mistakes to happen. As for your ranked status, let's quickly go over that. Is that dance with cancellation? One of these. H. No. Let's see. You play. Oops. Let's see. How do I search up the? Oh wait. You sent me a message earlier.
Yeah, I sent
So
it.
why don't I just go back to our message history and then just click this goddamn link? Because that's a bright idea. Okay. So like you play a lot of games. That's fine. You should not be anxious about going into ranked like ever. Like you have that mentality where like it's just like you're just playing. It's like a Korean style. Like you just play. Like normal games are like nothing to be honest. Like what are they gonna do? Like you know like if you want to have fun with friends that want to play normals, go for it. But ranked is your primary concern because you wish to be better. And I can see that your whatchamacallit drive to improve exists. Now the first thing is CS count. Holy moly, right? Like it's okay.
Yeah.
This is acceptable. Right? It's fucking decent. This is support. That's fine. This is mid. It's averaging. I see between four. Oh shit, 4 and barely 7. Like barely 7. Like mostly 6s. I see a lot of 6. Like around the 6 vicinity. Like highest is ever 7. Like what is your absolute highest? Like 7? Like really 7? Holy shit. That's not a good sign. Like for gold, like well for gold, I want to say at least 5, but you're like barely hitting the 5. So this is a new account. I'm working purely on mechanics again. Um, it's, so there are champions that I've like never played before, like that I want to master. For example, I don't play Lucian very much. I don't play Victor at all. I fucking suck with Victor. I don't play Cog. I never play Twitch. I started practicing them to see what I can get, and like you know the stats are pretty fucking bad. But if you look at like how I'm CSing, like the numbers are pretty outrageous. Like you know 11.1, 8.5, 8.1, 5.6, lol, 6.8, 7.9. Like I'm averaging like between 7 and 8, and at the highest level of play, not only can they perfectly execute like you know high CS counts, but they're also able to lane effectively while doing it. It's like a full concentration kind of thing. Um, so the first thing that is a primary concern for all players, practice your last hitting. Then we can work on a lot of the other things. So since I know that you're gonna like probably grind maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, like reset yourself, go to sleep, have a drink of water, stretch a little. That's the thing you can do to practice before you go into ranked. But what I recommend you do is definitely practice last hitting a lot more because as Zed, you have an easier time last hitting because you shouldn't be hitting the target when they're at like 50% HP. You know, like
that there's no point. That just pushes the lane. Sometimes you don't want to push the lane, and because if you push the lane, you open yourself up to ganks, and you don't have wards like super early, and then people might cheese you. Like Ezreal comes in, he autos you with red, and then Qs you, and you die because he does too much damage at level 2 and 3. So you just let the lane push towards you, and then play safe, and like it's okay to just farm the hell up, and then wait till the laning phase is over, kill somebody, and then win 5v4. For
So
me,
when would I want to?
split push.
In what scenario would I want to push the other mid laner into their turret?
If your jungler's invading, that's the first thing. Second, if you will need to back, you want to try to hard shove, or if you need to roam. So if your jungler is invading, there's this thing called lane priority. Basically, it means that if you shove them in, then your opponent has to make the choice. Do I stay here and just farm all these creeps because I need them farm? Or do I lose all that farm, lose a little bit of tower damage, and fuck my lane over to help my teammate? Well, my teammate's dead, so I lost both. Like you put them in a state of chaos if you push your lane. And if you're under your tower, it can also affect your opponent, but like the way you want to push it is you don't want to shove it all the way towards your tower. That means the tower is going to take more of the CS. So instead, your best bet is to leave it just barely outside the tower range and just freeze it right outside the tower. Like not exactly at the tower where the tower's hitting it, but not exactly like, in the middle of the lane either. There's like that in between. Yeah, this was probably my best game yet, like as a Tristana ever. Like highest damage, highest kills. I don't know if that's highest kill participation, but I mean, like 11.1 CS a minute. I stood still. I just constantly like focused on CSing, and that was the more important. Like you can carry with farm. Like judging by 21 minutes, like I had a lot of my items. Like when you have a lot of farm, your items will come earlier. And if your items come earlier, you have a more I guess scary like threat presence in a team fight. You're way more of a monster. And of course, like you can't just like greed for farm either. So I know Zed is a split pusher, so you should be confident in your abilities to 1v1 someone if they ever dare to challenge you down in the side lanes. If they ever challenge you in the side lanes, like for example, I don't know, like you can't kill tanks. Like it's not that's not your fault. Like Cho'Gath with Stoneplate, Gargoyle Stoneplate with fucking ulti will kill you. Like blah blah blah. Alright, so for now, the best advice I can give you, aside from like warding up a lot more and letting lane push and practicing your E auto animation cancel, which will take you a while to master because it's not easy. Like you saw how I struggled with it, but it is possible that you saw that it exists. Like it's not impossible. Like you can't do it with E auto because like the wind up animation for your auto attack will interrupt your E, so it's like really retarded. But you can cancel your regular animation with an E. I just recommend you farm a lot more, because your farm can also translate to more vision control, which allows you to safely farm a lot of money. And if you think about it, if you have a Zed has a time limit, right? So if Zed has a time limit, then you want to accelerate that time limit to its peak potential before you start falling off.
Oh, what do you mean time limit?
Like after a certain time, you feel like you deal no damage or you're completely fucking useless in team fights. Like,
okay.
Like as AD carry, right? Like I'm completely useless until 30 minutes because I have 3 items, which are my Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon, Static Shiv, and Static Shiv, right? But then I get stronger and stronger. Whereas Zed, once he has like, let's say he has 6 items, a 6-item Zed isn't as strong as like a 6-item Cho'Gath or a 6-item Maokai or like a 6-item what's the name of the champion? I don't know, Lucian Sivir. I mean, yeah, sure, Zed can kill them, but as a 5, like if the game gets to that point, as a 5. Zed won't be able to jump into the enemy team and come out like alive unless the team doesn't react or you really know how to play Zed and like perfectly play it out. It's kind of difficult to say, of course, but when the game lasts long, it's more difficult for Zed to play perfectly because you're not at that level where you're just completely like 100% better than your opponents. It's a more like right now it's like even, like like you're at like where you belong now that I can see, but like the room to improve exists in first seeing where your limits are as a player. And dying on Zed, like it happens, yeah, 1-for-1 trades a lot, but like you can't over die on Zed. Like people who camp you, like the reason why they camp you is because I see that like they have a tendency to notice that you use your shadows a lot, so like they'll just punish you when your shadow's down, because that's what all junglers look for. Like, oh, how do I punish this guy who has an escape? He's just gonna shadow away. Wait, he just uses shadow, all he has is flash. Wait, he has no flash. So you're basically a mid laner, like an ordinary mid laner like Lux, So you have nothing. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much that's an example of, it's just an assumption of why you might die much, but like like playing conservative and playing defensive until you see your opponent's mistakes what I learned from playing Swain, what I learned from playing Annie. Those are just the ways that can help you get, like, better. Because your goal isn't to get better at just Zed. Your goal is also to get better as a mid laner. Zed isn't exactly the champion to do that. The best champion I'd say to do that would be Annie, and everybody just does fucking Annie. It's just free 100-0 easy fucking shit. But that's just my advice. Like, I picked up Orianna when I was plat, not when I was like gold, anything lower. I picked up Swain this season. Like, it's just I'm playing them off of knowledge. Like, I could pick Zed and play the same amount of games that you played, and I would probably still be a little bit smarter about my decision making because I still have the raw fundamentals of being a diamond behind it. So like you know what I mean? Like I can pick up a new champion that I've never touched before: Twitch, Kog'Maw, Lucian, Caitlyn, Ashe, and just play them at a decent like level until I start getting better. Like I picked up Tristana like last season barely, so yeah. Like it just comes with what you gonna call it? The fundamentals of being a good player, not just the champion itself. Like, yeah, the champions are fucking broken, but like, if you want free though, abuse Ardent and win. Just play Lux and just like fucking spam Ardent and win. But like, if you have pride, then like you would grow to be a good player by being good by practicing and learning League of Legends, not not the fucking Ardent sensor abuser. Heard there. Press W at Lux and win.
Yeah.
All right. So I can message you if it's not tomorrow, because I might have to do something tomorrow. I can message you this weekend, for sure, for the sessions. If because like give you time to practice last hitting, increase your farm count. I told everybody the same thing about increasing their farm count. It's a fundamental for the game. All right. And I'll link you a post in just a bit about that.
What post?
It's just about like why farm is essential.
Oh, okay.
To playing. I have to figure out where the exact post is though, so that's pretty much it. Alright, so I will see you this weekend most likely. Fair?
Alright. Yeah.
Alright. See you, man.
Alright, see ya.
Alright guys, that was my coaching session for Zed Mid. I will see you guys next time.